What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 5 of the F1 2021 Driver Career Series. We're on for the 5th round of the championship. This is the Austrian circuit, the Spielberg circuit, the Red Bull Ring. I'm looking forward to some very good races today, so we're going to jump right in and get us going with the feature race.
It's race day here at Spielberg and the drivers are making their final preparations down on the grid before lights out. Look around, it's a spectacular setting and I'm sure today's race will do it justice. So Spielberg is one of the shortest laps on the F2 calendar, just 10 corners, 7 right and 3 left. Look out for the uphill braking zone into turn 3. That represents one of the better opportunities to overtake. Also turn 4 straight afterwards, and then the next one being all the way back round to turn 1. As usual, I'm joined by our good friend Davide Valsecchi as we soak up the dramatic scenery. Do you think the drama will continue onto the track today, Davide?
Ciao Alex, I think we can guarantee that. Austria has always been a track that encourages the driver to overtake and attack. But it's a low grip surface. The drivers out there today will have to make sure that the tiny mistakes don't end up hurting them later in the race.
Well then, after an exciting session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Cohen lines up on pole position, with Mick Schumacher alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Tsunoda, Matsushita, Marino Sato, and Piquet. Schwartzman, Armstrong, Deruvala, Daniel Ticktum, Dragovic, Ilott, Guan Yu Zhou, and Samaya, Delatraz, Markelov, Giotto, and Jack Aitken. Galeo, Alesi, Mazepin, and Roy Nissany completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are then on the grid for the feature race. I only managed to stick it on pole this time, which is a lot better than the 13th place we qualified last time out in Baku. Hopefully we can convert this one into the race victory, and that'll be some points well gained back from that crash last time out. So here we go now to 5 red lights for the feature race here in Austria, starting from our first ever pole position in the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode, and we're underway. Going down towards turn 1, it's been another poor start. Schumacher's up the edge, and here comes Tsunoda as well on the outside. We went 3 abreast briefly and lost the lead going into turn 1. Schumacher locks up ahead of us, and that allows Tsunoda to get through. He's taking the perfect advantage. Yellow flag here. I think someone must have crashed behind us. Our last 3 are all just speeding off into the distance. I think Matsushita and Sato have managed to get away as well. So we're going to try and take them both on the outside going towards turn number 3. And there goes Tsunoda. And Tsunoda's been spun out by Schumacher. Oh no. Poor Yuki Tsunoda. And that is it for him. He's not out of the race. But that's allowed us to get through. A bit of front wing damage though. Schumacher got a penalty. Marino Sato's out of the session somehow. No idea what's happened there. Definitely not pitting to change that front wing. But wow. What on earth was that? It's not often you see the AI making mistakes like that. But we've managed to come away from that perfectly. And we're back up into P1. We've now got a 2-second lead over Tsunoda, who I assume also has damage from being spun out by Schumacher. And he's got a penalty himself, so we could be getting some serious points back here if all things go well. Moving on towards the end of lap 2 now, nothing much really happened. We still have a big lead over Tsunoda, and as of now, I've just checked the standings. We are apparently 2nd place in the championship, and that is very, very good considering coming to this race 4th in the standings. One thing's for sure though, Tsunoda's definitely closing that gap, so it's guaranteed that we are definitely not the fastest car on the circuit. We're still going unchallenged here. Moving on now to the start of lap number 5. We've still got a 2-second lead over Tsunoda and another 2 seconds back to Matsushita behind him. And here is where we get our first real taste of any sort of action aside from that lap 1 incident. It's none other than the damage machine of Sean Galale running behind us. Of course, he's a lap down in 17th, but I'd love to have a battle with him. So here he goes up the inside. Going to let him try and make that move, but he almost backs out of it. We're going to let him up the inside, just because I really want to have a go at him here. We're going to have some fun. A bit of contact there. We back touch wheel slightly. I'm kind of feeling like we may lose some time to Tsunoda, but what the heck? It's all in good fun, isn't it? So I'm going to try and pull to the inside of Glale, who of course has the DRS. We're going to dive up this inside and take away. Well, we're not really taking any positions away. We're still in the lead. He's still in 17th. Nothing lost, nothing gained, and Tsunoda still sits 2.2 seconds behind. So all is well, but then we make a crucial mistake here. We run way wide into the gravel. Galil catches back up, and if Tsunoda definitely didn't gain any time before, he has now. No damage has been done to the front wing since that lap 1 incident, unfortunately for us. Moving on now to the start of lap 6, Tsunoda has finally caught us. He's now in DRS range. Matsushita's behind him. He could be a dark horse to win this race. And we've just got a bunch of lap cars and the rest of that train, the rest of that last train behind us. I assume that Galil is somewhere in that train as well. So off the exit of the corner, we're still holding that lead. He hasn't managed to catch us in the DRS range. Moving on now to the start of lap 7, we're still in complete control of this race by about half a second. Back to Yuki. We'll try, hopefully he won't manage to get past us this time. He's definitely got quite a good run. If he does manage to catch us, we will give him room. Be nice and fair with the championship leader. Will he try and make a move? He doesn't go for it. Of course, the Red Bull Ring is kind of track you expect drivers to be more aggressive, and he didn't go for it there. So that's kind of a missed opportunity for him. He really could have gone for a late dive at the inside, similar to what we've been doing the last couple of episodes. But he's still there. He's definitely closing down on us. But we're still remaining really unchallenged for the race lead for the last 7 laps or so. Moving on now to the start of lap 8. We've got some lap traffic in the way. Blue flags will no doubt be in effect. Of course, we see the blue flag on the top left of the screen. So Tsunoda pulls to the left hand side. But like I said, we're going to give him the space. He goes through and takes the lead briefly. We're going to try and come back at him though. We're going for the dive on the inside. We've got our line and we try and force him out, try and get Matsushita past him. We've taken the lead, but unfortunately we've failed to deny Tsunoda any more points. Because if we managed to get Matsushita past him and into second, then that would have been 10 points, I believe, we would have been gaining on Tsunoda in the championship. But nonetheless, we're still doing very well here. Here we come now, start of lap 9. Tsunoda is not close enough this time to be able to try and make a move. We've definitely pulled away enough to the point where he's not really going to be able to have a go at us. So moving on now to the closing stages of this race. We're on the final lap, the last couple of corners, and it's actually going to happen. We haven't really been talking about the first victory in Formula 2 or and the series no less, but we've done it here today. It's definitely been a bit of an action-packed race to be honest. I definitely enjoy the ones that have more action in them, but I'm very pleased this is happening. We're coming around the last couple of corners now, and that will pretty much seal it. We'll take our first victory of Formula 2 here in Spielberg. Get in!
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
A great win then for the ART team today. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Although the Formula 2 cars are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
An amazing race today, and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car that works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's table. It's a good result for Yuki Tsunoda, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Alex, I'm going to go for Nikita Mazepin. The Russian driver was amazing in the overtakes.
On to the teams then. Carlin have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from ART this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So there we have it, you guys. First career victory. I'm really pleased with that. Hopefully there will be many more to come in this series. That's a full 25 points. We gained 7 more on Tsunoda in the championship. We are still 29 points back, so we've still got some work to do. But I reckon we can really turn things around in the next couple of races if we get our act together and just really finish the job. So without any further ado, we're going to go into the sprint race and hopefully we'll be able to get another victory at that. We're starting 8th, but I reckon we can do it if we get the hammer down and really make some progress on the start.
Welcome back for the final event of the weekend, the sprint race. Here, the top 8 from yesterday's feature race are reversed to make up the grid below us. And in just a few minutes, those drivers will be hurtling down into turn 1. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Here we go then. Here we go on the grid for the sprint race. We're starting P8 in this one. Hopefully, like I said, we can make up some places on the start and give ourselves a really good chance of winning another race and try and get our first clean sweep of the weekend in Formula 2. But now it's down to business. We go to 5 red lights for the sprint race here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Lights out, we go underway. It's another poor start. Starts really aren't our thing this season, that's all I'm going to say. Down towards turn 1, we've lost places to both Schumacher and our teammate Armstrong going to turn 1. We go for a dive, taking it 3 abreast between Matsushita and Tsunoda, who of course we were battling last race. And we've taken away P6. We're chasing Callum Milot's Virtuosi machine as we head down the straight and heading up towards that right-hander where Tsunoda spun out. We're going to try and go for a triple dive bomb here on the inside, and that'll put us up into P3. I was very careful here. We're trying to be very careful not to spin on the curb. The yellow flags are out, but I think everything's all okay there. It's all cleaned up. Nothing really happened. So moving on further on now into sector 2, and we're running in 3rd place, so not too bad at all. Definitely making some good progress. Still chasing Drogovic and Markelov, who has managed to work up into the lead. He must have started in one of the higher positions for finishing slightly lower in the sprint race. So we're continuing to give chase here. Through the chicane we go. Aside from the triple dive bomb in the first couple of corners, hasn't really been much action so far in the start of this race. So not the best. We're still closing up to Drogovic and Markelov, so progress is being made, like I say. Through the last corner now to come through and complete the first lap of this sprint race, running P3 on the podium, and we're quite way ahead of Tsunoda, so that's crucial. I'm going to try and make a move on Drogovic going into turn 1. The MP Motorsport machine having no choice but to yield the position to me. There we go, through the corner, and that is P2. We begin to give chase after Markelov. We catch him towards the end of lap number 2, moving on to lap 3. We don't have the DRS just yet, but it's been enabled, so we'll be able to have it down the straight. We just set the fastest lap. I'm going to try and go to the outside of the race last machine, going into the first corner, and we have taken the race lead away just like that, and we got the DRS. We can use that to try and pull away further down this straight. So very good progress has been made. We've made it from P8 to P1 in the space of 2 and a bit laps, so I'm very pleased with that. We'll have to be careful for Markelov trying to come back at us, but we've run way wide there, and Markelov has managed to swipe the lead back from us. We're trying to get ourselves recentered again. We've gone on the grass on both sides of the track. Markelov retakes the lead. We're going to have to try and recatch him again, and we do at the start of lap 4. We're going to try and make a move to the inside part, to the right-hand side this time, going into turn 1. No real damage on the car. Markelov just about has the better traction and pulls away. We've still got the DRS, so it's not over yet. Here we come again. Down the straight we come, heading towards that right-hander up the hill. We're going to pull out to the right-hand side and get the move done. We'll try and get clear of him before we reach the corner, and we do just about. And that is us holding on to the race lead once again. So very good job from us in the car. We've managed to make it up back into the lead, having lost it and reclaimed it again. We go unchallenged until the start of lap 6, in which Markelov tries to close back up to us. This one could be very tight. Look how close he is now, as opposed to where he was when we passed him for the lead in lap 4. There he is right there, and now he's going to have the DRS on us. It's his turn to try and attack for the race lead. Going down towards this next right-hander. Will he try and go for that move? He's going to the outside. There he goes. We're going to just about shut him off there. Robust, fair, clean racing. Nice and smooth on the exit of the corner. So it's definitely not over yet though, because he's shown what he can do. He's shown he can go on the attack. If all he's got to do is wait for us to make a mistake of some kind. We very nearly do for a second, and we're going to run way wide off our line, and that's the opportunity he needs. He dives up the inside, and we've got to give him room going through this left-hander, and then coming out of the right-hander that follows it immediately. He's still right there. We're not clear of him yet. It's probably best not to move over in case we take him out. So going to these last 2 right-handers, we've gone way wide. We're carrying too much speed into the corner, and that's exactly the break he needs. He dives up the inside of us. We have better traction coming at the exit. One thing's for sure, we're not going to have it our own way on this final lap. Here we go, one more lap to go. Markelov's still coming at us. He's going to go to the inside, going into turn 1. He's trying to make his move in there. We're going to give him the room. We've gone way wide though, and that could be costly for us. As there goes Markelov into the race lead, and we've got to immediately defend from Dragovic and Daruvula, who's they're trying to go for on the left-hand side. We're going to give Dragovic space. Daruvala's not going for that move. We're going to dive back up his inside. We're going to try and dive the inside of Markelov as well, but we're not quite close enough, and I was very scared of spinning out here, just simply because we made contact with him. So now we've got a mission on this final lap. We've got half-worn tyres, and we need to nurse them to the finish line while also holding off Markelov. Of course, tyres shouldn't be too much of a worry, to be entirely honest, but catching Markelov could be a problem here. We've tried to dive in. We've gone quite a bit off our line, and that's definitely not going to help the tyres. So here we come now through these last couple of sectors towards the finish line. We've only got so much time left. We've probably got about 25 seconds to make the move. So here we come now through the left and the right. Markelov's still there. We haven't had the best of runs going through the corner. It's definitely been a bit of a slow lap from us, but I think Markelov's got it unless we can try and make a move on him in these last couple of corners. We're going to go for the dive into the penultimate corner. We've gone on the grass, and that's all Markelov needs to pull away. So similar to the opening race in Bahrain, where Guan Yu Zhou got us, Markelov's going to beat us to the line, but this time it's for the victory. That's painful.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
A hard-fought win today then, after a very difficult race. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
The difference was in the strategy. Credit to the driver for sure, but races like this really drive home how much of a team sport this is. They did a lot of work on the pit wall to really make the most of each stint and to make the best use of these tires. But that said, all of that would have been for nothing without a talented hand on the wheel.
I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of the race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
For me, the RT driver was the best in the field today. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 2, so it was a great effort.
And now a look at the team standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the MP Motorsport team today as they make their way up the standings. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alright, so in all fairness, it's been a pretty good weekend. It hasn't been too shabby at all. Our first victory and a second place finish, plus the fastest lap, not to mention the 4 points for pole in qualifying. We've almost had a perfect weekend. But you guys, that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, go and subscribe to the channel, share it with all your friends, and check out the playlist if you're new around here. So do get subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Love you. Goodbye.